President Barack Obama has called Francois Hollande to offer his backing to the French military mission in Mali. French forces in the country have made more ground against Islamist militants who currently control most of the north of the country. The French forces are just about 150 kilometres from one of the two key cities which the Islamists still control. Well, the African Union has called for its member states to send more troops to Mali, but it is clear that African forces are facing some logistical problems.
Heading north, this French convoy left Bamako on Thursday. Armoured cars, trucks loaded with missiles, 250 ground vehicles in total. It's the largest column that's left since French troops hit the ground in Mali last week.
The idea is to force the enemy to pull back so that we can advance. The faster we advance, the better for everyone.
En route, a familiar scene now. Passers-by show the troops' support.
It brings warmth to my heart. We know why we're here. We can see this country needs help, and we're here to give it.
It gives us strength. We don't really know where we're going, but it still gives us strength, and so we're even more motivated.
French soldiers on the ground now top 2,000. Their objective, take back control of the north. As part of Operation Serval, air bombardments continue. This footage is the first the army has released of airstrikes, in this case targeting rebel vehicles at an undisclosed location.
The African Union's Peace and Security Council is frustrated by these logistical difficulties, and for that reason it's welcomed the French role in Mali.
We acknowledge the positive contribution made by France and the international community that have stood with Mali, the United Nations and the EU.
The AU has asked its members to provide more troops to the mission within a week. It also wants the United Nations to authorise immediate help to get the force moving. But only 3 days ago, the head of the UN specifically ruled that out, saying it would put other UN staff in the region at risk of reprisals.
The Moroccan Interior Minister has said his government supports French military action in Mali, as he hosted his counterparts from France, Spain and Portugal for a security summit. Mohamed Lahansa also stressed that the four countries have a long history of working together. It's a cooperation that's always existed on bilateral and multilateral levels to face the problems in the region. Morocco has no plans to send its own troops to Mali. Spain's Interior Minister also expressed his country's solidarity with France's intervention.
We're travelling with a large contingent of French forces who are heading north. I can't give you our exact location, but suffice to say that we're somewhere north of Diabaly and somewhere south of Timbuktu. Now, we travelled for about 14 hours on Friday, but covered fewer than 100 kilometres, and that's because we've had lots of broken down vehicles. It's really been very painful progress, stopping more frequently than starting, really. At the same time, there has been a French and Malian government offensive towards the east. There have also been French airstrikes on the key eastern town of Gao, which is held by Al-Qaeda-linked rebels. There are an expectation now that African troops from Chad and Niger are going to come over the border to open another front, but there has been a slight setback to that plan because rebels dynamited a bridge on the border, which could present an obstacle to the movement of those African troops.